all of you have seen percents all throughout your career, especially this year in your different classes on tests or even on your report cards. You'll see that you had a 93% or 71%, and I don't know that you've ever stopped to consider what percent actually mean. So the word percent can be broken down into two parts that you already know. You've already seen per, I hope you enjoy my lovely writing, and then cent. Let's stop and think about the second word, cent, for a second. You've probably seen it in money, maybe in the word century, when talking about history. But regardless, they always mean the number 100. So really, we could read percent as per 100, or for every 100, something happens. So let's take a look, and we'll see what we mean by 100. There's got to be a quicker way to do that. So let's pause it so I can erase. Oh, there we go. Much cleaner. All right. So if we have something like 14 out of 100, we could read that as 14%, because it's 14 per the 100 that we have. Even if we have something like a decimal, we have something like 27.3 out of 100, it'd be 27.3%. If we stick with that same idea, don't let big numbers fool you. Even something like 141 100ths can be 141%. And yes, you can have a percent that is higher than 100. It just means more than you've gotten out of it. Just like how you can have a test that's above 100%. You're allowed to have more. Let's do some basic math using the fractions that we've had that should work. So for example, what if we have something that looks like this? 2/5 equals some number over 100. This is a basic way to find a percent. If we say, well, if we have 2/5, what would that be per 100? And remember, when we have a fraction equaling a fraction, we can always look to cross multiply. We bring our equal sign down, and we choose our variable on the left, so 5 times x is 5x. 2 times 100 is 200. Divide both sides by 5. We would get x equals 40. So if I were to plug that 40 back in for x, we would have 40 100ths. So what is that as a percent? Well, it's 40%. We'll do one more example. What if we have something that doesn't work out quite as cleanly? So what if we have something like 6/9 is some percent? Or what hundredths? Well, again, when we look to cross multiply, we'll end up with 9x equals 600. And we divide by 9, we're going to get x equals 66.6 repeating, 0.6666666. And that should be a decimal, not a comma. So we get a 66.6 repeating over 100. Well, don't let that fool you. It is 66.6 repeating percent. Or if you're going to round it, that would round up to about a 67%.